Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the tavern.
I'm product placing like Dave tonight. I'm actually pimping Airport Road, and Dave is pimping the Phillies.
Yes.
The Phillies are trying to pimp the Phillies.
They are. They are.
Can we just say, I am happy that the Houston Cheaters did not make it?
Correct.
I mean, Jose Altuve did his best to try and get him there, though. I will give him a lot of credit.
I will give Jose Altuve credit. He is a damn good baseball player.
But I'm still waiting for the book, the tell-all book, to come out.
Oh, just wait.
Years down the road.
Just wait.
He was wearing a wire under his shirt. It wasn't a new
100%.
tattoo that
100%.
he was trying to hide.
Yeah.
It was the wire device that was there.
It still bugs me to this day that, like, in any sport, when they do these things that affect the game, that they're allowed to continue like nothing happened. It's either a slap on the wrist fine. It's, you don't have to play for these 4 games that are insignificant. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
And that
wow, you're calling out a school in the Big Ten that's not Penn State. I'm shocked at that, Greg.
Or like,
here's the thing. Penn State took a giant hit for what happened. That didn't affect the game. That was wrong. But when it affects the actual play of the game, it's a slap on the wrist, and it's just unfortunate.
And we've seen Steely come out and say in years past that he got that wrong and he was too lenient to try and get to the bottom of it.
Isn't it? Wasn't that Manfred's? That was Manfred's deal. Steely got
whatever. They're the same person, just a different version of AI.
They really are.
I feel that with baseball's what is it? Their commissioner.
Yeah,
you
could interchange all of them, and I do know I can name.
Hey, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into
NHL.
a golf commissioner. We're gonna get into a golf commissioner conversation in the last call today. So let's wait on commissioner talk. So hey, how about we let's go into first round.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So Zozo Championship, Greg, you were right on one thing. Ricky Fowler meltdown.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Colin Morikawa wins by 6, shooting 763 on Sunday, or whatever day it was in Tokyo. So I feel like long overdue for Colin. Like, he needed to get that win. You shoot 63 on Sunday. If you're in contention, you should win. Let's be real out there. Great for golf to see Colin get back in the winner's circle. I think, 100%. Again, long overdue. He should have won by now this year.
27-month winless streak.
Correct. Could we talk, though, and we don't usually talk about plane flights, but the plane flight back that he took kind of overshadowed his win. I mean, there's pictures on a private jet with Minwoo Lee and Minji Lee flying back from Tokyo, and the only one, Minwoo was the only one that didn't come back with a trophy.
Yeah.
He still does have the best social media account in golf. Yeah. Let's just call it what it is. Like, he for the professionals has the best social media account in golf. Also, the thought of the fact of just want to know, how much was that flight back? What was the cost of that flight back when you're flying private back from Tokyo? I mean, I don't care if you're flying to the West Coast or not. It ain't cheap.
Isn't NetJets one of his sponsors?
You're still paying for it at some point.
You're still paying for it, but those guys like Jordan and JT, that are teaming up and flying, private wherever they are. But I think they all have NetJets as something around there.
Right.
Can I just say that this tournament was a field of, you either had the top 30 scoring under par, and then everybody else was over par. This wasn't as exciting as some of the other events.
He won by 6 at 14 under. Second place was tied with Eric Cole and Bo Hostler at 6 under.
8 under.
I mean, 8 under, yeah, 6 back.
Yeah.
I feel like when you look at a PGA Tour event where second place is at 8 under, you're used to that being a major, or even like, I mean, let's say a Bay Hill or something like that, where you're getting a tougher layout, tougher golf course, tougher test of golf. The Zozo should be that. I feel like the Zozo is taking the place of the World Golf Championship event that happened in Asia. And I think that you should have a tougher event there. I think the golf course should be tougher. Again, they held the Olympics on that golf course. So I'm okay with it being a tougher event. You shoot 63 on Sunday. Again, if you're anywhere near the top of the leaderboard, you get a W.
Well, I'm not even saying that it being a tougher event. What I'm saying is it just seemed like it was two different fields. You had half the field that it was real tough for, that was like U.S. Open type conditions.
Yep.
And then your winners at 14 under and then 8. And so the field was split in two. Unfortunately, like you said, Ricky was in the bottom half of that.
Correct.
Which I'm hoping is just him hopefully gets out of this slump and doesn't go back into what he's
still Rome hungover.
That's the problem. It's not the right kind of hangover.
Yeah. But here's Bo Hosler at 8 under, great round, very steady play. I know he was a under the radar pick for all three of us at different points in the year last year, but he showed, these non-elevated events that he's getting in and he's playing, he's been a top 5, top 10 machine. And
look at what Eric Cole, the same thing. I mean, Eric Cole played great early on. He had a top, what he finished second down in South Florida at the Honda. Came to Bay Hill, played great at the Honda, had some great events. He actually led the tour in birdies this year. So when you think about Eric Cole leading the tour in birdies and doesn't get a win, it's a pretty impressive feat. Like, I hate to say it, but you should have a W by now. And it shows that winning's not easy on the PGA Tour.
And it's not. And I do also like that you had a lot of Japanese players in the field too. Right. It wasn't
Rio Ishikawa got a top 10. When was the last time we saw Rio on a leaderboard?
Yeah. You had 3 Japanese players in the top 6, which is awesome. I think that's great that it's not just other players going over there. You're having a better national showing in your own event that's in your country.
And I think the men's Japanese game is slowly starting to catch up to the women's on the LPGA.
That's because of a certain Masters win.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, though. A lot of the LPGA players are Korean that are actually dominating the game. And with Minji getting a win last week, she's actually from New Zealand. So I mean, you've got a really strong contingent. I would hate to see, and I'm going to say this, a Solheim Cup if they went like a President's Cup version of the Solheim Cup and it was the U.S. versus the rest of the world. In women's golf, the U.S. would get just waxed across the board. Like, it wouldn't even be pretty.
I mean, I would almost like to see now a American, European, Asian, like Ryder Cup, President's Cup, like 3 different. I don't know, like you'd have to work it out on like a point system, but it would be interesting to see as the game grows.
Play 6 off the tee.
Yeah, that'd be a good time. So
it would be. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah,
it's not a bad idea.
6 off the tee and
and I'm saying like the Canadians, the United States, Mexico, South America. That's one team. You have Asia, the Pacific, Australia as one team, and then Europe and Africa, like that. Just break it into 3 regions, and I think it would be a fun little event.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, you know what I just realized as I was scrolling through our brand comments? We don't have a breaking news intro if we needed to do breaking news.
Oh, I did. I did have one. I don't know what I did with it.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna use this.
We need to stop with that. I can't.
No, we don't. We are not forgetting until we win in 2 years.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That goes down with Smack of the Week. It's what the people want.
Yes. We are Team USA needs to remember that and and win it back at Bethpage.
So we've got some breaking news tonight. And it happened last week. We didn't really announce it on social media. We were gonna wait and announce it tonight. I'm wearing this shirt and you can see the logo of the golfingdads.com. And the golfingdads.com is back. Our website is back up and running. So we're pretty excited about that. We turned it on last week. There will be some more content coming. We're going to have some exclusive content just posted on the blog itself when we get the blog up and running. But the website is back up. So if you're looking for it, there's some really fun pictures on our slider on the main page and some more information about us. And it's if you're looking for another website to go to and save in your favorites, along with not forgetting to like and subscribe to us on Facebook and YouTube. Shameless plug. Go ahead and save that in your favorites because you're going to get some more content coming out that way. So just want to let everybody know that.
We'll get some links up there to some of our favorite people that have been here on the show. Shameless plugs.
Also, the blog will be
Dads content.
Yeah,
the blog will be a lot different. I feel like now, the blog in the past was more of a product review and I feel like going forward, it's going to be more editorial articles and opinions by us, and it's going to be something as a place for us to go and just say what we want to say about the golf business and the golf industry and what's going on with it. So, pretty excited about that. I don't know. This broke late today. I don't know if you guys saw it. It popped up on my Instagram feed. There's a new member at Augusta National Golf Club.
I know. That's why I'm wearing the hat.
Yeah. Annika is now a member at Augusta National.
That's awesome.
Great for her. I'll be honest. As I was writing my notes down and I wrote Annika's now a member at Augusta, the first thing I wrote after that is I'm jealous. Having been there as we all were earlier this year, amazing for her. She deserves it. If there's anybody that's ever been a better ambassador for the women's game of golf, it's her. And one of the absolute nicest people in golf. We get to see it every year at Lake Nona for the LPGA event when I'm out there. She couldn't be nicer. Her and Mike are the unofficial hosts of that tournament, and they really go around and make sure that everybody's having a good time at Lake Nona. So couldn't be happier for her. She's an incredible individual. So
does it make her the third female outright female member? Fourth. Okay.
There's
Condoleezza Rice.
Condoleezza Rice.
The CEO of IBM. Yep.
There's the woman from South Carolina who I think she's on the board at South Carolina or something.
Yep.
And then that makes Annika, I believe, the fourth member at Augusta. So
nice.
It'll be nice to see her in her green jacket at the Masters this year, and we'll get some more content from her. So that'll be great. I'd hate to let us go. Thanks, Brad. I'd hate to let us go. It's kind of a Brad. No, the drinking game rules are not on the golfingdads.com yet. They will be shortly. We're going to need you to write them out, and we will get them up there on the site though. So our drinking game will be up there, so everybody knows. Dave, I want to do this, and I want to talk about something, and it's not really odds related, but it's something that is odds related, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put up the odds with Dave, and then we'll go from there. And part of the reason I put that up is I really wanted to hear the Spy Hunter music on the show. So, I do enjoy that. There was an article that came out. I sent it to you guys. The Live Golf event, Vegas reported that there was only one bet placed on the team championship in Miami.
They're one fan.
One bet. Is it Phil? I mean, we've already heard of those stories. My question, Dave, I mean, gamblers tend to be, I mean, degenerates. Let's be real. Like some of them are really degenerate. Like they'll bet on WNBA preseason games or NBA preseason games there, or spring training baseball. Have we ever heard of an event that only had one bet placed on it from Vegas?
It depends on that was at one of the biggest sports books, there could be some, off bets here and there. And, but I bet on a lot of things. I don't think I've ever placed a bet on Live Golf yet.
There's a lot of people. There's an article today that I read from NewEnglandGolfer.com or NewEnglandGolf.com, I think is what it was. And they were talking about, and it was an interesting article where they said that basically the team event for Live is the future of golf.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't mind the team event. I really don't. Here's my problem with it. Again, we've had this conversation on this show. What are you? Are you an individual sport? Are you an individual event? Or are you a team event? And if you have a team championship, again, I'm down with saying this is our team championship and let's do a team event. But every week on the Live Tour, you can't decide whether you are whether you're an individual
or team.
And
it's because you're watching it and you're watching it for the individual. The team thing is in the background, but then they have a big team celebration at the end when you win. And then it's like, okay, do I want to celebrate with the guy who actually won the event? Or do I care about the team that won the event? Because they might not be the same person.
Right. And to me, if you are, I mean, here's a question. How do you award, and there's been a lot of talk about this, of the whole official World Golf Rankings, an event like last weekend, how do you award World Golf Ranking points to that team?
Well, that's the point. I think, like, I go back to what I've always said. Live should be one or the other, and I would like to see just a team event. Like, I would root for a team, like I'd be maybe a Yard Goats fan, and root
Range
for that
Goats.
team.
Range Goats with Bubba, you mean?
That's true. Yard Goats is a minor league baseball team.
But
that's I don't even know the correct team names besides the Aces, maybe.
And it's the four Aces and the Crushers. I know the Crushers
and the High Flyers.
And hey, I do need to give before we go, I sent a text message to one of our former guests, Craig, from Towel Tag. Congratulations to Team Towel Tag, also known as the Crushers, for winning this week. They all had Towel Tag towels on. So kudos to Craig. Want to give him a quick shout out as Team Towel Tag won the team championship for the Live event.
But like, I'd like to see the team championship and root for a team and see, like, I'd almost like to see that kind of almost a Ryder Cup style thing where you have to play as a team more. And I think that would be an interesting season to have, maybe in the off season, and have different things where players can team up and have fun, but don't be both at the same time, because I don't know what to watch. I don't know what to root for. And apparently people don't know what to bet on either.
Right. So,
when I haven't figured it out, then
And I mean, let's be real, Dave. You'd be willing to you'd probably put a bet on a preseason WNBA game before you put one on a Live event.
Coin flip at the Super Bowl,
especially next year.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark's in the WNBA.
I mean, that's for a guy from Iowa. Yes,
yes.
Hoping the Fever get her.
So
better start that tank now.
They already tanked. They were one of the bottom teams this year. So
let's go on. Greg, it's that time. Let's get to happy hour.
All right,
here, right. Okay.
And for happy hour tonight, I am really excited about this tonight. We're going to welcome Kat Ramirez from golfingbuddy.com to the stage. Kat, first off, welcome to the tavern, Kat. It's awesome to have you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
I have to tell you, Kat, you're actually a first for us on the podcast here. You are actually our first female guest.
Yay!
So we have been doing this podcast since February, and you are actually our first female guest. So thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Really excited about that. So Kat, let's talk first your background in golf. Let's talk about that because I know you play. You've talked about it. I've watched some of your videos, and you play golf. So let's talk about your background in golf.
So it's funny because when I got into golf, I was dating this guy, and he always played golf, and I was like, oh, I want to play. And he's like, no, that's for the boys. No. So then when we broke up, I immediately bought clubs and I took lessons and I joined the EWGA, and I was like, screw you. And I got into golf and I fell in love with it. And I did it because, again, in the environment I was in sales. So it was a big deal. You go, you do the outings, you do all of that. I felt kind of left out when I didn't know how to play golf. And so knowing how to play golf, you hold your own,
Yeah.
And you want to
I'm in the mortgage business. I understand the sales idea of needing to play golf. So yeah. So
yeah. And so that's pretty much the background of me and golf. And I really am a casual, I love to get out kind of golfer. I'm not in it to win and to pound my chest. None of that.
Cool.
Yeah. You want me to tell you how?
No, wait.
That's what.
No. Greg was messing with his headphones. I was like, Greg, what are you doing over there?
I lost connection. I lost connection for a second. But so you got started in golf from someone telling you shouldn't play golf because it's for the boys, apparently. But so how did you get started with golfing, buddy?
Okay, so now let's forward wind. This was probably in 2020, I think, or 2019. I can't remember which year. And Jeff, my partner now. Hey, Jeff, you want to show your face?
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
You need to show your face so they can see. There you are.
There he is.
Hey, Jeff.
So he didn't play golf. And so when I was playing golf, he was like, I want to play golf. I said, sure, let's, we bought him some clubs, we got him lessons. And he became better at it because he was watching YouTube videos, just like what you guys do, watching YouTube videos and all of that stuff. And one weekend, I'm in the Midwest. One weekend, it is extremely nice here. We only have 6 months, right? Got to take advantage of the 6 months. And he was saying, let's go. It's the best weekend of the summer. Let's go. And I couldn't. I'm an entrepreneur. I have 3 companies, so I needed to get stuff done. And I said, hey, just call one of your buddies, see who you can find. And he couldn't find anybody. Everybody said, no, they had plans. So he was moping around. And then on Sunday night, I was like, you know what? This is a business opportunity. Imagine all the other people who felt like you did all weekend and wanted to golf with someone and couldn't find anybody. And he's not the kind of golfer that will golf by himself. He's not that guy. So he would rather be social and have someone out there, me or one of his buddies.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it happened. One of our best friends on the golf course, so it's that's how you make friends.
That's how Greg and I became friends.
Yeah. We work together and you golf, yeah. So it's we don't know how we met.
Smirnoff Ice or Guinness.
It's the tavern, actually. Greg, it was the tavern where we met. So.
Well, I know that.
Yeah. So Kat, and I'm sure Jeff has this fear. Just I'm one of those guys. I belong to our local course here is primary. You can either have your own golf cart out there or you can walk. I like walking. I put my headphones in. I go out there. For me, playing golf by myself really isn't a big deal. But when I'm going to other courses, I have that fear of being paired up with someone that just may not work out, right. But, your app kind of removes that fear because you're meeting them in advance. And how's that feedback been and the success from your users with that?
It's good because, again, like when you're paired by a golf course, and I talk to a lot of PGA pros and golf directors, you're either going to love that 2 to 4 hours or you're going to hate it. You're absolutely going to hate it. And if you hate it, you're not going to come back anytime soon, right? Because you got to shrug that off. And that's the reality of it, is when you are able to meet people outside of golf and get to know them and have a conversation, then you're more likely to have a good time, because there's a little bit of an intro, right? There's a little, and you kind of know the playing field and what you're getting into. Whereas when you just meet as complete strangers at the golf course, they pair you, then you're just stuck with whatever happened.
Yeah, right? I think we've all seen those Instagram reels of, this is the guy we got paired with at the course today.
Right.
I think we've been
Instagram
with
and TikTok. Yeah.
I
like getting paired with Dave.
Yeah. I mean, and we've been to some like really, really nice golf courses, and my big thing is, because I know we're getting paired because I'm the female and I'm not the strong player, is I'm just sitting there like, I bet that's who we're getting paired with. I bet that's who we're getting paired with. I'm just sitting there like trying to like measure up people and think, okay, am I going to hate this or am I going to love this? And most of the times you get lucky, but there are one or a couple times where you don't, and it's happened,
Yeah.
Oh, I always hate those times when you get somewhere and you and your buddies there and they're pairing you with another group, and that other group's like, no, we're going to go by ourselves. And we're like,
I guess we're not paired.
I guess we're not paired, but like we're gonna slow, and then they slow down the course in front of you, and you're like,
right,
come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, so go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I was like, those anomalies happen, right? They happen.
Yeah.
No.
So with Golfing Buddy, kind of a. Are there different levels of membership for you? Like, is there a local, a national, whatever? And then how much is it to join?
Okay. So there's 2 memberships, free and paid. That's it. So free and paid. That's it. Right now, everybody gets the VIP for free because it's Load the House. We're startup. So Load the House. Okay. Anybody who signs up, anybody who joins, we upgrade them for free for 1 year. Awesome. And that's what we've been doing, is just trying to fill the house, So I'm not trying to monetize it at this point. And when I work with leagues and golf courses, I'm trying to do a rev share so that there's skin in the game for them and that they help and participate, No,
that makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's good. That's a good way of doing it. So, because we all know, I mean, the golf business, it's funny. I don't know if you saw this, but TPC Sawgrass just announced that they raised their rates to $900 to play there.
I'm sorry, no course is worth $900.
I've played it. I went to college in Jacksonville. I've played it multiple times. It's a great golf course. I wouldn't pay $900. I've never paid $900 to play there. I've never paid more than $30 to play there, and that's like my cap on that golf course. So,
I don't think we've paid $900 for a week's worth of golf.
Yeah,
I've been on golf vacations for less than $900. Like a 5-day golf vacation in Myrtle Beach, you can do for less than $900, including food. So yeah.
If somebody's generous and they're giving away, I would raise my hand. Sure, I'll take a $900 round of golf.
Exactly. So kind of speaking of that, Kat, have you seen success with like private clubs or members of private clubs on your app, and maybe bring people with them or hosting events?
Okay, so that's a great question, because it's funny, because a lot of the times when I'm talking to people, organizations, they're like, oh, is this for public courses only, blah blah blah. And a lot of our member base are diverse. They're all over the place. Some of them do belong to private courses, and when they're messaging or they're putting it on their feed, they're saying, hey, I'm a member of this course, anybody want to play? It's on me, just connect with me. Yep. So, so the members are there and they're wanting to take people to their private golf courses, because my guess is they want a diversity from what is already there to people that they meet and bring them to their golf club, and to me, that's a great thing.
Yeah, that's been, I mean, because you see this a lot of times. Like, I mean, I live in Indiana now, and when I moved here, my golfing buddies, one moved to Iowa, one's still in Florida, some are in South Carolina. So like I've met some friends here by doing that, by just meeting people on the golf course and getting to know people that way. So this is a great way to get those people to connect and find someone who has like that same interest that you do, not just in golf, but like I saw like on the way that you connect people is not just I like golf, you like golf. It's I like to play golf this way, or I like music on the course, or I like
Right.
to play wolf
Yeah.
on the course and
Right.
bet.
Bet.
Like,
Right.
yeah, it brings you closer to someone who golfs kind of like you. I mean, Steve and I, we do charity work in golf with Dave, but but
that might be the truest thing that anything's ever been said on this show. That is it right there.
But Dave brings a fun atmosphere to the course.
I might be putting great fun through college eventually.
Yeah.
It's very kind of you guys.
It is. We that's our charity work that we do. But that's
Yeah.
great that this app kind of brings people together.
Yep.
And you can make great friends, but it's nice that you also it's not just a for private clubs. It's not just for public, it's for any golfer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially those that are looking for, either more beginners, more females, or, more of something that they're not really getting from the sport that they're currently engaging in,
So I'm going to ask another question here, because I've seen this on the golf course, unfortunately. And from a female's perspective, I've seen guys who are like, oh, I got paired with a woman today. And then from the woman's perspective, they're like, well, do I really want to play with this guy that doesn't want to play with me? Do you see a lot of like male female friendships and partnerships come out of this app?
I feel like it because I think the coolest thing is I get to see the dialogue and the communication, the banter going back and forth with people. And I've seen it where, guys will say, I'm a good golfer. I'm not great, but I'm willing to help someone become better. I can give you tips. If you want to golf with me, I'm open to it, and then it also in reverse, I've seen women say, hey, I'm not that great. Anybody willing to play with me? I'm not great. Emphasize, I'm not great, but I want to get out and I want to play. Nobody can get better if they don't play, right?
Yeah.
Nobody
Yep.
can. So,
Right,
people putting it out there that they want to get out there with other people.
That's great. That's because I just see that too much at a golf course where people get paired together and they're like, oh, I got paired with this group. But now you're saying in advance, hey, I'm not great.
Right.
Do you want to help? Do you want to do this? So that's a nice way to kind of get this community that's huge together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rather than showing up at the course and being paired with somebody, oh, we're playing from the tips today. Well, I play from the whites, and it
Yep.
Dave, you should probably move to the forward tees, Dave. It would help your game.
more than likely, yes. So Kat, from the standpoint, I do a little bit of travel for my work and my wife's job, and most of it I just got back from Maui.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And so when you're traveling this connects people when you're traveling to another part of the country and get some insight on, local courses. And have you seen a lot of success with people traveling using the app and trying to get paired up in a different city and, finding information about courses to play?
Yes. So that's another dialogue that I see happening as well on the feed is people will be visiting, like, let's say Minnesota, and they're saying, hey, anybody recommend a golf course in Minnesota? I'm going to be in this area. Anybody know anything? That's really quick because I'll be in a conference and I just want to step out for half a day and go and hit some, balls. So I do see that quite a bit for people traveling and going to other markets, and just asking about golf courses,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So
a lot of things.
We've got Golfing Buddy. Kat, do you have any other sites like tennis or pickleball or any of these other sports out there? Did you grab those too, or no?
No, and that's funny because when we first came out with Golfing Buddy, I had a friend or somebody that said, "Oh, you should do it for tennis, and you should do it." I don't have that much energy. I'm golfing, and that is that. You know what I mean? I'll let someone else do pickleball and volleyball and tennis and all of the other stuff. But it takes a lot to build something, and then it takes a lot to get people aware of it and to join and participate. And it's a lot of work. It's just like when you guys are doing your podcast, right? It takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. So
yeah.
No, I'm just
and
here.
then there's Dave, and Dave just
and then
shows
Dave
up
just
at the
shows
end.
up.
Yeah, and don't ask him what he's watching, because the TV above his head actually has the Phillies game on, so that's what he's watching tonight. So
he's probably not happy with the score right now.
Okay.
I'm not watching, so I don't know. So Kat, so let's wrap this up, Kat. First off, we really appreciate you coming on tonight. If people are looking to sign up, where do they need to go?
Well, they need to go where you're strolling here, golfing-buddy.com. They can go there. If they wanted to find out about, partnership opportunities and the rev share, that's at golfingbuddy.info. And then we have a partner site, golfingbuddy.co. I mean, we got just about every site you can think of with information. And I think my biggest ask is, for people to help me get the word out, to get people to sign up, check it out. It's free. It's completely and utterly free. And again, my vision, my dream is for this to help, get golf courses to be more inclusive, right? More inclusive, have some diversity at the golf courses, and then remove that anxiety and fear for golfers that don't like that pairing system. It's just a bad system, and again, it's not always bad, but it's like a roll of the dice, right? It can be bad or it can be good,
no, and it takes that out of it. So
yeah, absolutely.
I happened to pick the same tee time you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a better chance of that than you do winning the lottery. So, Kat, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. Look forward to huge success with you guys, and definitely be following you guys on social media, and look forward to a whole lot of success. So, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And
cheers.
Hey, Kat, we tend to ask, will you be in Orlando for the PGA Merchandise Show or no?
I'm going to try to be there. Yes. Because last year we didn't make it. So yes, I'm going to try and be there this year. Yep.
Well, keep us posted. You've got my email. Keep us posted, because we'll be here for the PGA show. So we'd love to connect. So
awesome.
Love to say hello. So let us know if you're going to be in town. We'd love to say hi. So thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you have a great week, and look forward to huge success from you guys.
Right. Let's play more golf.
I love that.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
No, it's a good.
Great.
It's a good app, I think, for, like you said, when you're doing a tee time, you're paired with whoever chose the same time you did. Where this lets you kind of find like friends out there that maybe you can play more golf with that you might not know in your area. So
right.
Yep.
We've all been paired up with those people, and I'm sure people have thought the same thing about getting paired up with us.
They've been those people.
What the hell have we gotten ourselves into? But at least we've never showed up in a pair of jorts and a tank top.
Dave, are you looking at the screen right now?
No, I am not.
You should look at the screen right now. Is there nothing? You don't know the update of what just happened? Yes! There it is.
There we go.
We're a little delayed, but he got there. I needed that on there. With that, I think it's time for this.
Well, smack my mama.
This week's Smack of the Week was really easy for the Golfing Dads Tavern, because I think it's every one of our fears as parents.
Well, I sent this to you not knowing that you had already.
Oh yeah, no, I had already had this one. This made the rounds on TikTok, and I was like, oh boy, let's line this up.
A good golfing dad.
Hold on, this. Will, I want you to watch this. Never do this with golf clubs.
A good dad.
Hold up.
There we go.
Thank you.
There we
go. For joining us tonight. Yes, thank you. So, Will, watch this, because this is not allowed ever with even your own clubs.
Dad doesn't let this happen.
Hey,
no, ever.
Hey, Dad, let me test out your new driver.
Okay. Hey, no. What?
Yes, Will.
Oh, yeah, fucking yeah, buddy.
Things we never
Fuck yeah.
do.
Oh,
Dad's new driver. Get it.
Okay.
You got to do a durability test. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You got to make
smash
sure
it.
your driver will.
Yeah.
Just, so when he ran towards the car, I totally thought that back window was going to be.
The back window was done.
I thought.
Yeah.
I
thought
thought something was going to be done. Back window, tail light, something. I thought was.
Let's hope it. Let's hope that's like a like one of those clubs Greg finds in No More Forgiveness. No,
Yeah, that's
that Greg finds in like Sports Authority
Bargain bin.
or something like that, and it was just a beater club to have that was going to be a wall mount or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I have in the past. I've given a club. I got a new club, and I gave it to a friend, and they took it. They were looking at it, and they put it on the ground, on like the cart path, and I was like, just that.
Have you ever
I
played
was
golf before?
Like, I gave you a club, and you put it down, and you scratched it.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
you're a golfer. What was this?
Yeah.
I get a kid doing it, but that's still painful to watch.
yeah.
Oof.
Painful to watch. Painful to watch. But yeah, that had to be the smack of the week this week. There were some other good second place finishers on that list, but that was definitely smack of the week this week.
That might be smack of the year.
That might be.
Ooh, end of the year smack. We'll have to go back
We're
over
gonna
our
have to.
smacks of the week.
We might have to have a
Yes.
vote for that. So, all right. Whew.
All right. I really don't know how I feel about this topic, and I've got a lot of talking points about it, and I still don't know how I feel about it.
Let's just sit back and relax.
This
It's
week, the
only
PGA
tied,
Tour
Dave. You're not winning.
announced. The PGA Tour announced this week that the players finishing in the numbers 125 to 200 now will have spots on the DP World Tour at the end of the year. My first thought when I hear that, I'm like, oh, good, they got someplace to go.
Corn Ferry 1 and Corn
Why
Ferry 2.
aren't they? So, question number 2: why aren't they going to the Corn Ferry Tour?
Because
I've got a lot of bullet. I've got four really strong talking points.
Let's address
on this.
question number 1 there, because I like that one. So I think I like the option of this instead of dropping back to the Corn Ferry Tour. If you've earned your way off the Corn Ferry Tour, this gives you another route now.
Here's my problem.
Question.
Dave, go ahead. Yep.
So,
What is the DP World Tour?
That's Dave's question. Yes.
No. Don't most
European.
of the DP World Tour events happen on the other side of the pond?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, all of them.
You're dropping back into 125 to 200. If you're based in Minnesota,
Got a lot of Minnesota references in this episode.
Right.
Hey.
Like, where did Minnesota come from tonight?
it was just off the thanks, Kat. But you live down in Florida with everybody else. You got to go to Europe for most of the year.
Well,
and hang out over there.
So let's go. I've got 4 talking points that I want to discuss.
I got an example for Dave, though.
Yeah.
There is a well-known player who went to a different country, played on a different tour to get himself back on tour, and is now a 5-time major winner.
And I'll be honest with you, I teed off in the group behind this player because I know who you're talking about. I teed off in the group behind him in the Honda qualifier, in the pre-qual at Honda, because he was still playing on the Challenge Tour in Europe, and it's Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, that's exactly who it is.
And literally saw him hit the dirtiest drive I've ever seen anybody hit on the first hole at the Fountains, and I thought to myself, holy crap, that dude is going to be really good and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's literally because he took a line I hit 3-wood down the middle of the fairway. He took a line over 2 palm trees that I wouldn't even have thought of and just smoked it down there. And I was like,
And most players,
because he's also a better player than you.
Well, it's true, but most
he's
players,
a better player. He's a top 10 player in the world. Let's be real, Dave. He's a better player than, I don't know,
everyone.
99.99999% of all golfers.
But to your point, Dave, here's the thing. I do agree with you. I don't think most players have, not the courage is not the right word, but like it's not the right time for him with family and stuff like that to go do that where it was for him. And that was the point I was trying to get to.
But the other
he was right out of college and did it, yes.
But the other point of the DP Tour is playing European style golf is a lot different than trying to get your PGA card playing across the states in the Corn Ferry.
Here's the problem.
Found that out in Italy.
The DP World Tour has the Race to Dubai, which there's a lot of money out there in that Race to Dubai. There's a $10 million bonus in that. So I will give them that. Now, my first problem that is glaring at the PGA Tour in making this announcement is that the PGA Tour is already
joint announcement with the DP and the PGA. It's not just the PGA making this announcement.
Right. Yeah. But here's my problem.
Yeah.
You've taken the lead on this if you're the PGA Tour and made this happen. And you are already under investigation from the federal government of the United States for having a monopoly. If your players who don't qualify for your tour now you're basically giving them a gift of saying you can go play on the DP World Tour, they now have global control of the game.
They have it anyway. They're the number one competitor. If we're gonna, here's the thing: golf is a global. It is a global sport. It is a global brand. It is played.
And the DP World Tour isn't what it was when Monty and Seve. This was talking point number 4 that I had, by the way.
And we'll get to that.
Monty, Seve, Jose Maria, like those guys made the DP World Tour, and they stayed on the DP World Tour. Monty won 7 years in a row. He was the leading money winner on the DP World Tour. Like
that brings me to my point of. The PGA is the tougher.
majors.
That's where you go on. This has been like the comment that was with this article that we said. It says, "Oh, now the DP World Tour is the feeder tour into the PGA." It kind of already was,
right?
Like you want to play in the best events in the world, you play on the PGA Tour. I'm not saying that for American pride. I'm saying that because of what it is.
We had this conversation after the Ryder Cup. The American team had a chance to go over and play in what is the Players' Championship of the DP World Tour. They could have gone and played at Wentworth, and they chose not to. Billy Horschel went over and played in it and literally roasted the guys for not going. And I agree with Billy Horschel. They should have gone. They took 5 weeks off.
The only way I think you're going to make this better, in a sense, is if you took the PGA Tour, and I don't want this to happen. This is my national pride that I don't want to have to go over to Europe to watch events. But if you did kind of what Liv did, where their events go across the globe and are not just in the United States, like you cross these events and then create tours, that's a top 125, a 125, a 126 to 170 something.
Well, here's the other problem, though. Like, other than the elevated events, you've got 144 players in the field.
Yeah.
So you're still going to need these guys, right?
I almost feel it's going to a relegation system.
Right.
Is what we're going to. You're going to play your way up and you're going to play your way down, which I kind of like.
Okay, so Greg, let me ask you this question. You're one of those you're the 125 to 200. You're sitting in Ireland about to play the Irish Open. Okay? All of a sudden a call comes in from your agent saying there's a spot for you in Minnesota playing the 3M. I just went back to Minnesota. I went back to Minnesota because we're there already. Now you've got to come back from Ireland, jet lag and everything else, and try and figure out how to get a last-minute flight.
If you come back.
Well, yeah, that's going to depend on a whole bunch of stuff.
Hold on. Mike, the Scottish Open is the co-sanctioned event, not the Irish Open.
But here's the thing. You get that call from your agent. No, I'm in a pretty good place to play in this event this week. I'm doing, I got a chance, here to earn my way up a little bit farther.
Because I'm going to say this. Well, you got 10 spots. from the DP World Tour that qualify for spots on the PGA Tour, the top 10, right? Top 10 on the PGA Tour, on the DP World Tour, now get full membership on the PGA Tour. So, okay, fine.
But where do my points?
But
like,
if you
where do
fly
I
back
earn?
and you win the 3M, you're automatically back in.
So I have a, but here's the thing: if I'm doing good on the DP World Tour and I can earn my way into the top 10 that way, I'm going to have to consider this because I'm already here in Ireland, as you said. Am I ready to play there, play that course, and not go and just switch on a dime to go play this other course? And then, how does that ranking work? Like, do my points transfer over from here?
You know,
like,
if I'm sitting number 8 at the DP World Tour right now, and that Irish, say there's 2 more events after the Irish Open, I skip the Irish Open to go miss the cut at 3M.
Yeah.
And then and now I'm bumped back to 12 on the DP World Tour. I just cost myself 2 legs on the whole thing.
Let's be honest. I'm staying over in Ireland just because of the whiskey and beer.
And the Guinness and the Guinness and the Irish.
But I think that's going to be the conversation that I almost think you're not going to see as many open spots. And this is where you're going to have the 125 are going to play, and there's not going to be fillers. You're going to have a field like the Zozo where it's not a cut. It's not like they're going towards that is what it seems like. Yeah. They're going towards this feeder system
but
that
here's
gives you different avenues. I mean, we also had the first straight out of college PGA card just got given out.
Well, yeah, because that dude is a stick.
But that's my point. You're going to have all these different avenues to go to be in different areas now.
Now, let's ask this question because it's not a talking point that I wrote down, but I'm going to throw it out there right now, is the idea that you have the Corn Ferry Tour, you have the DP World Tour, and they're all feeding spots. They're feeding 35 spots a year, 25 on the Corn Ferry Tour, 10 off the DP World Tour, which I still can't figure out because I do think the DP World Tour is a better test of golf than the Corn Ferry Tour is, personally.
It should be if you're 125 to...
Yeah.
Right. So why are you only giving out 10 spots there, but everything funnels into the PGA Tour?
I almost think that's what they need to. They're going to need to reconfigure some of this and look at it. And I don't want the Corn Ferry Tour because I think it's a good feeder system. I like how it's kind of like Major League or minor league baseball. Like now you're almost having single A, double A, triple A,
right?
That you can jump from any of those right into the majors.
And then we're gonna call Live the Savannah Bananas.
No, because the Savannah.
No, that's given. That.
I will go put my Savannah Bananas jersey on right now. I have one upstairs.
That's knocking the bananas.
I like, you know what I mean, though. Like, I'm sorry, I had to,
But that's kind of what but and even if this whole thing goes back with like the PIF and Live kind of gets absorbed by that, you might have now 4 different feeders or 3 different feeders that come into it. And I think you really need to organize that structure because what I don't want to see happen is that you become like what we're saying is bad about Live. What are you? Like, are you a team event or are you a feeder to this? Are you a feeder to the Corn Ferry? Like, what level are you? Because I think I will say USA Soccer, I think, has done a good job kind of doing this model of building the MLS, then you have the USL Champions League, then a league below that, and they all feed kind of into each other, not like they don't have relegation like you do in Europe, which I think would be fantastic, and give teams opportunities. But if you have a structure, it can work. I don't think we're at that structure yet, though, for golfing. I think they're just trying to piece stuff together. And like you said, it almost is a monopoly because the PGA just keeps absorbing all of this stuff.
Right.
And I feel they're just trying to strengthen the PGA after what Live kind of did to them.
Well, but again, going back to something we've already addressed, the DP World Tour, which was the former European Tour, and then they got a title sponsor. Players like Monty and Seve never came over and played on the PGA Tour full time. They picked and chose, and they could pick and choose where they wanted to play. They played the majors, they played around the majors, and that's what they did. They played events like Memorial and Bay Hill and things like that.
Pebble.
No, because they did.
You know what
Money.
changed all that, right? Money and sponsorship and exposure, and that's what the bigger brand was, the PGA. So that's why you have all those players. Like Rory would have been that. Jon Rahm would have been.
Here's the thing, though. The other thing
there.
that they did was they had a lot of events that turned into you got points on both tours, whether it was the 4 majors, they had the World Golf Championship events, which gave you points in both tours. And then you had you could play and pick and choose and play. Okay, I'll play, you basically had the tour you had to play 15 events, 10 of them came into the majors and the World Golf Championship events. And then you had Memorial, you had Bay Hill, you had all these events that you were going to play anyway. That has changed on the PGA Tour in that in recent years, your European Ryder Cup stalwarts have come here and played almost exclusively on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
They didn't stay in Europe. Like Seve and Monty
they've all gotten scholarships to U.S. colleges to come and play here.
Rory never played in America. He actually never went to college.
Well,
no, but Dave's right. Like Rahm did. Like you've had Hovland did.
Hovland did. Hovland still lives in Stillwater.
Yeah.
Like he still lives in Stillwater. Like
they've all rather than staying true to the European, they've all taken scholarships to come here and play, which
but even
great for the game of golf, bad for the U.S.
But even past that, if you have people like, let's say, if Nike was back big into golf, if I'm Nike and I'm sponsoring you, where do I want you playing? I want you playing on the biggest stage, and the biggest stage is the PGA Tour, and that's why it's happening.
Well, it's the most TV exposure. It's the most
exactly.
Again, when the Golf Channel launched, the Golf Channel did the smartest thing they could possibly do, and that was they signed the DP World Tour. Or at that point it was the European Tour. Yeah. And they signed them, and it gave them credibility right away because they weren't going to get the PGA Tour right away.
No,
it wasn't going to happen.
But the DP World Tour, I'm not trying to downplay it, but I just don't think it has the notoriety because it's not what it used to be. I think if you had a European league and the PGA, like if you had those leagues and then you did,
if you had UEFA and events, MLS,
I think that would be
trying to figure out how the point system and how it all goes in the world rankings is like trying to watch Michael Jordan and Larry Bird play horse in the old McDonald's, commercial, like the shot across the freeway. Nobody knows what's actually going on and how this all works. Let's put some numbers into a hat. It's like the magic wheel. It's like the magical wheel of compensation in the back office.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to throw this one talking point out there with this. So we talked earlier about commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
We talked that in first round. I actually have thought that a lot of people have been very critical of how Jay has handled the whole live thing. And Jay took to what the rules were that were set forth by the players and stuck to them and just kept reiterating the rules. I actually think he did the best job he could possibly do because it was just a awful situation. But this whole live thing is going to end up being his legacy. Right? Like when you look at
good and bad.
Bud Selig, his legacy is the steroid era. Whatever you want to imagine or not, Bud Selig's legacy is the steroid era. That is what it is.
David Stearns is Michael Jordan.
When you look back
all
at
3 versions of it.
Right. When you look back at even going further back than that to Bart Giamatti's legacy is Pete Rose.
No.
So I really feel like Jay has been reeling in trying to figure this out, and I don't know that he is trying to force the issue and it's going to become a black mark on his legacy from my perspective. Like, I don't know. Like, when you look at and say, okay, Jay he defended the membership. He defended the guys that stayed loyal. He then sold them out and went to the PIF without telling any of them. Let's be real. But now I feel like he's trying to create avenues for everybody to be happy.
I think he's trying to put the pieces back together, but he doesn't know what the puzzle looked like in the first place. I think this is going to be, I think it could work out for him. I think he could get lucky. And if everything works out and he makes the right decisions, it could be good, but I don't think he even knows what those right decisions need to be. I think he's just trying to grab at straws.
Which is a scary thought. Like,
it is. It's a very scary thought.
I think he's got a lot of talking heads around him trying to feed him all this type of information as well, too.
And here's the other problem that he has.
Like us.
Here's the other problem that he has. You have the player advisory board that added Tiger and added a seat for Tiger just because they wanted Tiger there. Now,
that's the
Tiger.
Point, they
Tiger.
know.
I mean, we've talked about this. I've talked about this when I just ran the blog before we started the podcast. Tiger is the needle. Tiger doesn't move the needle. Tiger's the needle. So if you're going to have Tiger in your corner, why are you not? And I'm going to be honest with you. I actually think Tiger makes some very smart decisions for golf and for the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tiger is probably smarter than he needs to be. And I actually think Tiger would make a genius GM, a genius commissioner of golf. I don't think he'll ever take it.
He did go to Stanford.
He did. And obviously you can't get into Stanford. I don't care how good you are at golf. You still can't get into Stanford if you don't have the grades.
Yep.
But I feel like Tiger could really be a good sounding board in saying, hey, let's do this or let's do that. And I feel like Tiger should be his number 2 and be his, like, I find it funny that Tiger has said nothing about this.
Well, I think the problem here is that Jay was doing fine as commissioner. The live thing, I think it was just a tarnish on there, and it was just this kind of barrage of blitzkrieg of we're coming after you. It was tough for him to handle. Like you said, it kind of leaves a stain.
It was very Norman focused.
It was. I want to take out the PGA Tour.
I want to be the most powerful person in golf. That's what Norman tried to do.
But now I think this is now Jay trying to cling to his legacy to try to save it when you're not. It's tough to do that. I almost compare this to Michael Eisner at Disney. He did great things for Disney, but towards the end, he was kind of just trying to cling to it and trying to be Disney himself.
Right.
And he's a great CEO, but at the end, it was like, you need to pass it to somebody else, and now let someone else take over. Let someone else kind of fix this, because I feel it could go two ways, but based on past history and most things like this, it's probably going to be a tarnish on your legacy when if you kind of transition to someone else to kind of fix it and bring it back, it might be a little bit better. So I don't know that Tiger's that guy. I think Tiger needs to be a part of the conversation.
I think Tiger needs to be in the room.
I do. No, I think Tiger needs to be part of the conversation. I think Tiger needs to be like Jack and Arnie have been for the PGA after they retired from the game. Like, he needs to help move the game forward, which he does in so many ways. But Tiger is the biggest thing that ever happened to golf, and
yes,
we kind of need that kind of personality to help fix this.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like Tiger needs to be. Tiger has the best interest of the players, and I'm okay with that. But I also feel like Tiger can look and say, where are we going to make money here?
Yeah.
Because It's not because Tiger's the one that changed the money for this game. He changed this game for what it is today and has made it what it is today. So let him help you.
Greg Norman had nothing to do with getting these TV contracts. He wants to think he did.
Yeah.
Like he needs to.
Greg Norman, for the sake of the game of golf, needs to stop. Just get out of it. Go back to making t-shirts.
His golf shirts did fit nice. Just gonna say that.
They are. I like his golf shirts.
Yeah.
Right. But I also feel like he needs to really have a long, hard look at what is he trying to do? Is he trying to, again, Greg from the beginning has tried to ruin the PGA Tour. That's what he's trying to do. He tried to end the PGA Tour.
You're asking Greg Norman to take a long, hard look at something that he's trying to ruin.
Yeah, just back out.
Let those thoughts sink in there.
Oh, it's not gonna. The only way this happens is that whole PIF thing happens, and he kind of gets pushed out of this. But I don't think he's going away.
I don't think, and this is just my 2 cents. I don't see that deal getting done.
I don't see it getting done either, but I also I don't see even if I was the PIF, I would say, hey, Norman, you got to go. But even if they kicked him out, he's going to try to do it with something else. That's what I'm.
No, because they're going to pay him to go away and shut up. Because they have the money to pay him to go away and shut up.
Yeah, but I don't think that bothers him. I don't think you can pay him. I think he's just. It's not going to be about the money. He's going to be.
You saw it too, didn't you?
I did. I was putting it up at the same time.
Wow, Mike Clyer from the top. Like I feel like we did a WWE reference there, like coming off the top turnbuckle with the people's elbow. Wow.
But that's what I think. Like
because it didn't sell at TJ. It didn't sell at TJ Maxx, so it went to Ross.
That's at Ross.
It went to Ross. Yeah.
But I just think that he has this vendetta out for the PGA.
He has the vendetta out because they ixnayed his world tour idea and made made the World Golf Championship events and pushed him out, and he didn't get any money out of it. And now he's trying to do everything he can to get back to the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it never works out.
No,
it's just like in the NFL when you get a penalty and then you retaliate. There's 2 penalties and it offsets, so it never works out for anybody.
Right. So. All right, guys. Good show. Good week.
Yeah. Thanks, Kat, for coming on tonight.
Thanks, Kat, for joining us. Yes. No, that was awesome. Really excited. We've got a good couple weeks. The next couple weeks, we've got some really good content coming up. And then we've got hey, next week. Do we want to do Tuesday night is Halloween, and I know we're all dads. Do we want to look at doing Monday night or Wednesday night next week?
Yeah, we'll have to look at. We'll let you know what we're going to do next week.
We'll let you
know.
On
Tuesday because
it won't be on Tuesday. We'll be.
We got to do dad duties.
We got dad duties. So we will do a show next week. We'll let you know when it's going to be.
We'll let you know later this week.
Yep, and then
it'll kind of be after party ask on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what? That might be what we do. But no, we've got some good content coming up. We've got Cleveland Strixon Zexio coming up, and then Tuesday while handing out candy. I mean, that might be entertaining for us to set up our cameras and do that. I'm not
handing out candy. We're going trick-or-treating, so I can't really just interview people.
Yeah, we've got little kids, so we won't be.
I live in Iowa. There's like 6 houses.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
That's true. There's only 5.
Yeah, that's Hayden, guys. Hayden's one of our new followers. Good dude, super good dude. He carries. I actually played golf with him a couple weeks ago. He carries the new ZX7 irons from Strixon. So I know he's looking forward to that. Hayden, thank you for watching tonight. Appreciate it. The Orlando golfer. If you're not following him on Instagram, you need to. Just FYI. But
if you're not following us on Instagram or
what are you doing? Why are you? Yeah, what are you doing? Why aren't you following us?
We're glad you're here. So
Yeah.
And
up-
don't
keep up the
forget
great
to
content.
check out our Instagram page because you definitely want to see where in the world you're going to find our coaster because we've got some good content coming up on that. There it is. There's the coaster. Hold on. Yeah.
Tal tag original.
I was like, Steve, if you don't have yours, that's not a.
Yeah. No, I've got it right here. My drink tonight's not on it. But no, I'm excited for. We've got some good content coming up. I'm going to try and get. I know I'm really looking forward to in November. The first couple weeks in November, I'm going to try and get Steve Miller on, who's one of the club pros. He's a director of instruction here in Orlando. Suffered a brain aneurysm just over a year ago, and is back to teaching. A super good dude, good friend of mine. And then we're going to have Zebra, Ram, McGregor, and the new Hogan line on coming up soon. So, no, we've got some good stuff. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys have a good week. And
it's the
we'll
Oscars.
see you next week.
Yep.
Like, you talk about growing the game and doing some different things.
Oh, nice.
And I want to bring Craig and Talatag. You guys to talk about growing the game.